Welcome back to WRT with N and J, and this is part 2 of Rini's cancer resilience. In the last episode, that is part 1, we listened to her talking about how they discovered her cancer, what were her initial feelings, a journey from then, and she also spoke about how and why she moved to India. So, in this episode, we're going to listen to what happened after moving to India and what were the good and bad sides of her diagnosis journey, and more definitely inspiring words from her. So, without further ado, let's get started.
So yeah, I came back to India on 4th of October, and
Okay.
I was planned to get my treatment from RCC Trivandrum, but because of the COVID situation, I had to stay in for a 14-day quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
and Trivandrum didn't have like that good facility for a person like me to
Oh.
stay in
Mm-hmm.
a quarantine situation. So we planned for the quarantine in Paramala Hospital, which is near my place, around 20 kilometers.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I landed there, like I was medically repatriated. There was this whole team. There was this nurse, flight nurse, and I was on medications. I was on devices. It was a very dramatic kind of situation.
It was some entry back to the country by
Yes, it
all
was some
means.
entry. Well, I flew business class.
Oh,
You're giving very weird
oh,
motivation to
I
fly business
know.
class, Dee.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. So most of the time, even though I was in business class, I couldn't enjoy because I was on morphine and other sedative drugs. I slept all the duration.
All
So
right.
yeah, that was the best part.
So you
Yeah.
were not able to enjoy business class, even though you
No.
did travel. But
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. And yeah, so I as soon as I came to Parmala, they said like rather than wasting time of 14 days and then going to RCC, I would start your chemotherapy right now, right here, with whatever weight you have, and like according to my weight. Like if I
Mhm.
was 38 kg, then whatever weight is the medication is required for a 38 kg person, I would give it to you. You won't be wasting any more time. And that was the time I started with Paramala, and I'm still with Paramala with Dr. Sukesh. Touch wood. Bless you, Dr. Sukesh.
Shout out to Dr. Sukesh.
Yes.
Yes,
Hopefully, if he's listening.
good.
Okay. Jordan, you want to ask the next big question?
Okay. So yes, moving on. We would just like to know, so what were the aftermath of that? So how did it go through, like what all you went through, and with the family members around, like what all you went through emotionally, and things like that.
So it's not just emotionally, there's pain. Like my friends would call me or text me
Mm-hmm.
constantly. And even when I was in London, uh, I was the person who had to give out information because nobody could visit me.
Right.
It was COVID time.
Agreed. Agreed.
And that was another kind of a blessing for me because it was COVID time. And if the neighbors on the other bed had visitors, and if I had no visitors, I would have felt really depressed. And since it was COVID time, nobody had visitors. Everybody was enjoying on their phone or the TVs they had on their bed. And my doctors would come on rounds, and they would say, I mean, even though it's summers, there's nothing actually happening outside in London, so you just
Mm-hmm.
chill. And I would be like, yeah, this is the best time to have cancer.
My
Oh
God.
my god.
I know, right? Like, I think, situations like this brings the optimistic side of you,
You
and you
certainly
just.
remember you can be a stand-up comedian.
I don't know about that, but then that was a really good point. Like, you have to bring out really good moments out of nothing.
Correct.
Exactly.
So, as I told you, the whole situation, it just is so much intertwined. Like, I am so much in pain, and I remember days when I would tell my mom, like, I have pain every day, and can't God give me one day of leave with pain, like one day chutti? Yeah, I think Nikhil, you have heard this a lot from me.
Yes,
Like,
for sure, a lot.
yeah,
But
and
you really want it. It is so much pain every day. You just want one day where you can feel normal, right?
Yeah, and there was times when I would feel like, God, please make me better, please make me better. And then I started to give up and said, at least if you cannot make me better, make me feel better.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
realized that there's a huge difference between getting better and at least feeling better. And
True.
there were and I used to check out a lot of videos because there's a lack of information about cancer and surviving cancer or fighting cancer, or what kind of treatments there are, or the survival stories in India. And people hardly talk about it. And the very first thing which I did when I was diagnosed was I just broadcasted it on Facebook, and everyone came to know about it. You know why I did that? Because I had a FOMO, like, what if I die and nobody knows?
Nobody knows.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that I think that fear is with everyone. What
I
if
know
I
Yeah.
that.
leave and nobody remembers
And
me?
I was like, I mean, I'm not 60 or 80 that people won't bother. I was just 31 that time, and I was just bringing up my life. I had just started like living a proper life. And
Hmm.
what if I die? People won't know. And I want people to know. I have to publish my death, my
Wow.
obituary on Facebook. And, you know,
Again, weird motivation to be on the podcast. But there you
you know what?
go.
I texted so many people apologies. I won't mention the kind of apologies. You know
Hmm.
the in depths of it, but then
Hmm.
leave it. Oh God, it was funny, and people who came to know about me, like old classmates and all. It was nice of them. People made me believe in prayers, and I still, there are so many people with different races and colors and faces that are still in touch with me. They talk to me. Um they motivate me, and they say that even you must have seen on my Facebook post recently, they say they call me as a miracle girl, because they I was given life of around 3 to 4 months, and by the grace of God it's going to be 4 years now.
Wow.
Wow.
So I myself feel really blessed, and each and every breath I take, each and every sunrise I see is a blessing which we in a normal day-to-day basis we just
Don't appreciate.
don't appreciate at all.
So I had actually two questions that would I like to ask. First is, in the end, how much were you able to raise the from that fundraiser that you ran on Facebook?
I think I kept a target of 20
20
lakhs.
lakhs, okay.
Yes, and out of which I required actually 17 lakhs for my repatriation. And by the time I was repatriated, um, the church took up the whole repatriation settlement.
Church
So
from there in London.
yeah, and they collected the money from the church and they repatriated. So all the bills were paid by the church. So the money which was collected by fundraiser was as a add-on which I used for my further treatment.
What
So
was the
I
final
I,
amount?
I raised around 17 or 18 something. Yes,
That is pretty amazing.
I know.
yes,
I mean, it's that too from strangers, most of them. I mean, few of
strangers.
them
Yes,
you knew, but most of them were strangers. That is
absolutely.
a huge round of applause to humanity for that.
I
Yes,
know.
and
Like,
then even later on, not through GoFundMe because not everybody can um, like
Hmm.
put in money through GoFundMe. They have different accounts or whatever reason. So approximately around 20 I overall received.
oh
That's
wow.
that's very amazing. That's very, very
It's
amazing.
so nice when, people think, I mean, we ourselves say that, okay, money is important in life, but
Hmm.
for that you need people, like in this example, like rather than earning money, like you should earn people, I guess, like
So
everything
what
else is
happened
taken care.
was a few of my friends came to know and they said like, Renee, just make in a proper GoFundMe so that people won't just change in a number or two and it can go to someone else. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's how they asked me to make one, and it was intended to stay just among a few people from my department, and that just shot out to everyone. They just shared it to everyone in the group, and that's how most of the people around the world. There were so many people from even South America and South Africa were calling me.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, for prayers
Complete
and
strangers who we
complete
probably never
strangers,
meet in
and
person.
they would pray. And Nikhil, we pray a lot, but then we pray for others also, but then that exact power of prayer I realized that time.
Yeah. I mean, Jolene is much more religious than me, so yeah, she does pray for everybody. But no, it's really really amazing to hear that people whom we don't even know create such a big impact in our life when in time of need.
Right.
It's really
Yes.
amazing to know. My second question is, the when you came back to India, you uh, understood the atmosphere. It had been a while since you've been back to India. What did you think? What is the state of how people perceive cancer as a disease in India? Like, is it considered a taboo? People are open about it. People are willing to help, or what is your review of that in a way? Like, what do you think about it?
So, situation of cancer in India or in South India is completely opposite of as it is in West. People
Hmm.
in West are really open about it. They talk about it. They empathize with people. They share their stories with us, and they try to motivate us. And they pray, they pray for us. But then in India, as I told you, that I shared the whole situation on Facebook because I just wanted people to know, I just wanted someone to know. I wanted to, like, rather than keeping it within ourselves, I just wanted it to be out, and that really helped me. So when I came back to India, and as I told you, it was me who broke down the news to my mom or to others, or I was the one who made the WhatsApp group, because I was the only one in the hospital, and I had to give out the daily information of what doctors were saying, what's my health situation, how's my infection spreading, or how is it getting better, and etc etc everything. So it was me who had to handle everything. And when I came to India, and my even my doctor in London, he would be completely transparent with me. And if he said that I have 4 months to live, he must have thought, yeah, okay, 6 months. But then he
Hmm.
kind of prepared me that, yeah, this is your situation, 4 months. So they kind of uh, they don't terrify you, but then they are actually pretty blunt on your face.
Yeah,
Makes
direct. Yeah.
sense, right?
They're
Like you were
blunt
the
on your
only
face.
person, and it makes sense for you to know everything.
Yeah, they make it really clear.
Hmm.
And they really ask you 5 or more times that, are you clear? You can ask me as many times as you want. But in India, the situation is different. The people around are like, how she knows. I mean, don't talk about death in front of her. And my mom would be like, it's she who told me that she's about to die. It's she who told me that she has this big situation. It's she. She tells everyone. And so there's a taboo, and there was a talk like, why did I post this whole situation on Facebook? Like, we should not do this. Like, I don't know what they think about it. And there's a situation in which, in especially in south of India or Kerala, I don't know, if you're a sick person, you should dress in a way. You cannot be all smart and sparkly and
Wow.
yeah. So that happened. And yeah, and regarding healthcare, healthcare is really good. I really appreciate India's healthcare, but then transparency is not as good here. um,
Hmm.
I want people, my doctors or nurses, to be straight blunt right on my face, but be like, it's not doctors or healthcare workers' fault. The actual patient are not used to that bluntness, to that directness. If you tell them that you're stage 4, you're about to die in 10 months or 4 months or 5 years, they won't
Hmm.
take it. So yeah, it depends on the person who's sitting right in front of the doctor. So I
Wow.
I made it clear to the doctor that, please tell me everything. So yeah, he does it that way.
But it's not the case it here, right? Over here, it's still considered a taboo, I would say, where people don't
It is
like to
it is
talk about
considered
it
a
very much.
taboo. Like, um I don't know how can I tell you. It's very different here. But then at least my doctor and my healthcare nurses or other workers,
Hmm.
they understand my situation and they are really transparent with me.
Okay, that's lot and lot of information for both of us. Okay, moving on. Let's come to our third question. So, I mean, yeah, we do know what all you went through and everything, but we would also like to know the fun side of it that you went through, and maybe a few lessons you learned through the process that maybe as a tips or tricks you want to give other people out there who are going through this amazing journey. So yeah, you want to talk about things like that?
So, the very first important thing which I really want people to know or understand is cancer is not for elderly people, or how they say in books or in the videos you see that it's for people above 40 or 50. No, it's coming down and down. Like, if it's in your family, first of all, you have to get yourself checked right up to 20, 25. And even if it is not in your family, somewhere around 30s, you have to start getting yourself checked. Like, you get this insurance. You have to get an insurance, first of all, a health insurance, and make sure that this health insurance covers most of the good hospitals and most of the big kind of investigations like PET scan or um, CT scans, because there are a lot of insurances that don't cover, and they say that they give you this much claim and all. There are so many
Mhm.
drugs, so many um, like facilities in hospitals which are not covered under the the insurances. For example, like right now I'm taking sildenafil. It's just a simple heart drug, but it is not covered under certain insurance covers. So we have to be really careful before selecting a good health insurance package. That is one. Next is, you have to be really careful about your own health, how your body is reacting. You must have always heard that you are what you eat, and I never actually realized that fact. Like, I know you are what you
Mhm.
eat, but I never really realized that fact, that I always ate healthy. I never ate anything from outside, like street food or fast food. Or, yeah, the maximum I would ever eat is momos, and that's not like on a binge kind of situation. It would be like a craving, sometimes once in a while thing. And yeah, so I'm not a person who would eat mostly outside. So that was one. And I remember when doctor came out for my for first assessment before my surgery, he asked me about all my bad habits. Do you drink? Do you smoke? Do you have heart issues? Do you have liver issues? Do you have kidney issues? Do you drink coke? Do you take drugs? And do you have any cholesterol issues? Do you eat from outside? I said, I just eat Lays and Maggie. So, so yeah, so that was the whole situation. I was not even a fond person, like a meat or non-veg. Itna zyada, I wasn't fond of all that, like on a extreme basis, like on a daily basis.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that that's bad, but like I would rather prefer vegetarian foods, and also that's who I am. So I thought that I had a good eating habit, and I was kind of sporty or athletic in my school time, and I had a lot of energy. So I never actually thought that I my body is complaining about this kind of situation. And when I had this kind of pain and they said that I have gallbladder stones, it's like, yeah, that's a common thing. And on almost all people, every person, like if anyone goes out for a checkup today, they can find one or two tiny stones in the gallbladder. It's like, yeah, that's a reasonable answer. And I agreed to it. But then later on, and as I told you, I am a nurse. I am a MSc pediatric nurse, and I have studied a lot. And yet I couldn't figure out my own symptoms because I didn't have any major symptoms. I had just bloating and stomach
Mhm.
ache. And because of
Mhm.
that, I couldn't eat anything. And in 2 months, I lost 20 kgs, like February and March. And by April, I lost 20 kgs. And that's huge. So I didn't have the major typical colon cancer symptoms like constipation or bleeding or vomiting or um, curled up tummy. No, I didn't have any of that. So I didn't even think about it. And the best part is, honestly, I was just 31, and I didn't even like randomly or from anywhere think that I could be having cancer or I should think about that. The maximum I thought was I could be having a irritable bowel syndrome. that could be a possibility, because I'm in a different country. The different water and food fashions may cause that. So that was the maximum. So I want people to know that you have to make yourself aware that you have to get yourself checked. Like, my family, in my family, there are two aunties who got married into our family and they passed away because of cancer. So I tell my cousins that you have to get yourselves checked, because there is a history of cancer in their blood. So, and even if there's a person who doesn't have history of anything, they should really take care of their guts.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. And regarding coping, how I coped, that was the main question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how I
How
coped,
you basically how you basically pull through every single day. What all do you do to keep your mind away from it? You must
yeah.
have gone on trips and everything, right? To keep yourself happy and all that.
So I'll tell you, the very best thing which I got in this whole treatment was that I was in India. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, when I was in London and Canada, these are really beautiful places and everything, but then these are cold places, and we as Indians are used to this tropical situation. We are used to this warm, sunny kind of a lifestyle. When I came back to India, I received this bright sun and the warmth of this atmosphere. I felt half better.
Mm-hmm.
Half of my sickness went away. Like, I felt better with all the birds chopping around and the warmth I used to get and the sunlight. Half of our sicknesses go there. That could be just my perception. That I'm not sure about others. And um, the people around us, I am blessed that I got a really strong mother who would take care of me and who would not let herself break so that she has to take care of me. I would say I'm not a fighter. I am just trying to live the like every day, or trying to see another day. She is a fighter. Like, she really kept through it. Anybody would have just given up on me, or a person like me. So yeah, my mom was there. And I have really great friends who,
Mm-hmm.
because of certain like COVID situation, they couldn't come to me, but they were in really good touch with me. They would stay along with me on telephone calls, on video calls, or other ways. And so how I coped with this situation, I don't know. I slept through most of the years. Yeah, I went for a few outings with my cousins, but then it wasn't as comfortable because mostly I wouldn't be able to trek or walk. I would love to go to different places, but it
Mm-hmm.
was difficult. But then I made the most of it. I have really beautiful pictures out of everything.
I mean, thing is, like, you have somebody to keep you company, half of the pain just automatically goes away, in
Yes.
my opinion. So you did trips and everything, right?
I went to Atrapalli, and whenever I would go to Ernakulam to see other doctors, I would go around other places. Like, anyhow, I'm out of the house. So yes, I would go to like small trips to Pathanamthitta to see a few other waterfalls. I'm a waterfall person, and anywhere inside Kerala, like, it's beautiful. Just a few kilometers outside my house, it's beautiful. 10 beautifuls, people would listen
Mhm.
from me.
I think you would have had the best time at that when you are out on a trip itself, in my opinion.
The best thing is, like, my situation is almost like babies. I just let me sit in the car and everything is beautiful. I just don't want to sit at home.
Agreed. I'll ask you this then. The what are you up to nowadays? What are you doing nowadays then?
Well, I have been studying some things. I told you that I cleared this TESOL certification, and earlier I thought of getting myself into teaching people a little bit of IELTS, or
Mm-hmm.
helping them with English. Well, rather, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I thought of, even if it is not IELTS, at least teach English to foreign children. l- like who
Hmm.
have English as their secondary language. It could be an online situation. There are a lot of openings about it. So I thought of getting my TESOL certification, and I got it. I'm looking out for opportunities. Because since I cannot go out of my house, I have this whole health situation where I cannot exert a lot of pressure on myself. So yeah, TESOL is there.
Okay. All right, Joel. Let's ask her, I think, the final question before we end the conversation from the both of us. What would you give as an inspiration to people who are in the same scenario as you? How to fight this thing, how to have the motivation to keep living and not just give up?
Yes, that's a really important thing. So I would rather tell people to take your time. I had a lot of trying situations or lot of tribulations when I thought I have to do this, I have to get my answers back. Why aren't people respond, not people, family, other people in my family not responding to me? Why aren't they bothered about me? And there were many friends who would tell, Rini, you should take care of your health first. You have to take the stress out of your life. Until and unless you take the stress out of your life, you won't be able to heal yourself. And this whole poking situation would rather only keep you wounded. So I took my time, and I tried to heal myself. Yes, I took around 3 years or more to heal myself. I could rather even say that's kind of an excuse, but I deserve it.
We are healing ourselves every single day, really.
Yes.
So,
And so I would tell people who are like me, not just cancer suffering people. There are people who are going through other hardships in lives, be it office issues, be it mental health problems. It could be anything. It could be even a simple, not a simple, but yeah, fracture or whatever. And you have to stay in bed for 6 months. So people get really demotivated. So you have to feel that this thing would pass. And
mhm, mhm,
in one way or the other, like in your situation, it would come out in a good way. Like you will come up brightly in like colorful wings. But in situation like me, we have to make it beautiful.
mhm.
We have to make something memorable out of it. And even if you don't make it, like, you're just living and you're on earth just to live. Nobody has forced you to make specific goals out of your life. God made you, just live it. Just chill. Just look at the birds. Do nothing. Just relax. Sleep. Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to take any burdens. Anyhow. So yeah, it's easier to say that you don't have to worry about tomorrow, but then that's the only thing. And no amount of books would help you. It's just your own mindset. And having in-depth faith in God, like, uh, it's not like he would come and heal you, but then at least he would give you the strength to bear through it.
Wonderful.
Yes. Thank
Oh,
you
wait.
for bringing me in your first episode. I'm really glad, and many of my friends have actually asked me to share my story with the general people. And since I told you that there are not a lot of videos or talks about the cancer journey of Indians on social media, I really wanted to share my story with others. And thankfully, there were a few friends who got me connected to other kids, other youngsters. That really helped me um, survive through this whole situation, understand the situation. So yeah, so I too, I'm glad that I am one of them for other people.
Um, Before we outro properly, Randy, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you, talk to you more about you?
Well, they can find me on Instagram and on my Facebook, and if they are somewhere near in Kerala, they can always drop in at my home.
You know, right? You have to give your username.
Well, you can add it on the profile,
Yeah,
right?
we'll add it, but just for the sake of it, you can tell also.
Okay, okay, yeah. So my username on Instagram is Rini Jacob, or I came, I saw, I conquered, and I know it's very cheesy kind of a username. But then I never wanted to change it, because even though I haven't conquered everything, but I know I will one day.
You are you are a testimonial to
And
fighting every single day, Dee. So you are
and I
definitely
have,
conquering.
this is my personal one, and I have another, like, kind of, what do you call it, rudimentary, no, sedentary, no, there's another account of mine. It's called I Came, I Saw, I Forgot, because and that's meant for the cancer awareness. I haven't used it much, but I forgot is because usually cancer patients have a chemo brain and they forget a lot of things, and they have a flight of ideas. They just talk anything and from everywhere.
You can find us as usual on our socials, WRT with NNJ everywhere. So yeah, we'll drop all the links in the description below. Jordan, over to you for the outro.
Okay, with that, we have come to the end of the episode. And yeah, I must say, nothing could have been a better topic to start with. And yeah, Rinidhi, you just sounded so perfect. I must say, better than both of us, actually. And you just spoke about your journey so beautifully, where, I felt you just made all your struggles seem so easy. And also told the people out there, right, that there is always light at the end of the tunnel.
Beautifully summed up, Jordan. I don't think I could have said it better than this.
I
So,
know.
guys, I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. We would love to listen to what you have to say, whatever feedback you have. You know how to reach out to Renidhi. But we're going to wind up for now. We'll catch you in the next episode. Until then, ciao.
Bye bye.